guys, Kristen here. Comment with me if you are live. Comment if you are watching the replay. Hashtag replay. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great day. This was a requested topic for one of my Good, Bad, the Truth weight loss coaching. And, you know, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, you're a weight loss coach. Like, of course, you're going to say all good things. But again, my whole purpose for doing these Good, Bad, and the Truth trainings is to be completely objective and give you guys all parts of the story. And then you decide what works best for you based on you and your goals and where you want to go moving forward, right? So I'm going to get right into this, guys. And I want to emphasize too that I'm focusing mostly on weight loss coaching. Of course, like I am a health and weight loss coach. I always say health first, weight loss second, both a strategy. But since a lot of you guys are here specifically for weight loss, I want to kind of touch more on that particular subject. And I'll get right into this topic, okay? So the first thing to understand about weight loss coaching and what it really does, right? And let me actually clarify to you what weight loss coaching actually means. And that ultimately means that you are getting either like one-on-one work, perhaps you're part of a small group or a group where you guys have lots of support in the group, or sometimes it's a mix of both, right? It's a hybrid. You have one-on-one coaching and then you also have a group support, right? So Create My Weight is both one-on-one support, and we also have a phenomenal group. I love phenomenal. I don't know what I just said. Group for support as well with people that all have the same goals. And so that's what weight loss coaching is, right? It could be just one-on-one, group, or a hybrid of both, right? And so the best part about coaching, right? And this goes for all coaching, not just weight loss coaching, is that you get clarity. Oftentimes people come to me for Create My Weight and they're like, I have tried so many things and I don't know why it's working, or I don't know what's accurate. I read all these things online. Comment if that's you. You're like constantly researching and you're really not sure like what works for you. Like you read all these things like keto works for this person, intermittent fasting works for this person loves Noom, this person loves MyFitnessPal. Oh my God, this person swears by Weight Watchers. Like you're seeing all these things, but you're like, what the heck works for me, right? Or like what's healthy, what's not, how much should I be eating, what should I be eating? Like all these questions going through your mind, like what supplements should I be taking, what should I avoid, how much should I work out, like blah, 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 all these different, issues in your mind, and there's just no clarity. It's just a ton of confusion. So the beauty of weight loss coaching is that you get clarity, right? Like exactly what you need to be successful. And, there is one size does not fit all, you guys, right? So just because something works for one person doesn't mean it works for you. So it's really important to not just learn about what all those things are, but most importantly, what works for you, right? So you're going to get crystal clear on what it is that you need to be successful. And oftentimes too, people will focus on the wrong things. And that's actually getting into my next point. But they know a lot about fitness and they know a lot about nutrition, but they might not know about the other parts of the lifestyle that make weight loss, challenging, right? So managing stress, for example, water intake, sleep, emotional eating. There's all of these other factors, traveling, eating, and social eating and drinking, right? That's a struggle for some people I've worked with. So what is it that you really need help on, right? So that's the second piece I want to talk about, focusing on the right things. Oftentimes people say, well, I work out 5 days a week. I eat super healthy, but I still can't shed these last 15, 20 pounds, and I've been trying for 5 years. Comment in the chat if that sounds like you, right? So oftentimes, again, we're focusing on the wrong things, right? If weight loss was just about eating healthy and moving more, right, then a lot more people would be thinner, right, or be, not trying to lose weight. Okay, so oftentimes there are other factors, hormones can play a factor. Absolutely. There's lots of different things. That's a whole other video. But again, what we do in Create My Weight is really looking at the most important things, right, in order for you to see results in weight loss, right? And not overtraining, not undertraining in terms of fitness, but really kind of looking at the lifestyle and making sure that you're focusing on the right things. Also, to the best part, another really good part, I should say, about weight loss coaching is support. All right, so even when you have all this information, right, you're learning about nutrition, you're learning about fitness, you're learning about the mindset and like how to stay motivated and really how to make this a lifestyle for you, because that's what weight loss coaching is. The goal of coaching is to create your success in a long-term fashion, right? So even if you're being coached for soccer, right? So like Pip here in the group, I know you're a soccer coach. Like you coach your team members, right? Like how to be successful in soccer for life. Right? And so that is what coaching is. It's not just like, here's a meal plan, right? Or like, if you're a coach, you don't just give your team like a play or whatever and say, go get it, right? You teach them the skills, right? And so that is what coaching is. So the level of support is so important, right? And that's how people really get to their goals and get success, is because they're supported throughout the way. That's why, like, we don't just give out a meal plan and say, follow this, see you later. Like, you can go on Pinterest and get that for free, right? And I'm sure a lot of you here in the group have done that and you're still struggling, right? Because meal plans are not long-term. Who wants to follow a sheet of paper for the rest of their life of how to eat? That's not me. If that's you, comment in the chat. If that's not you, say, hell no, I don't want to do that, right? So the level of support. So again, it's taking that information and turning it into transformation. That's what the support does. That's the component that is missing for a lot of people. It's like they have all this knowledge and then what the heck to do with it, because it's not transforming them, right? It hasn't come to fruition. So that's where the accountability comes in, right? So ultimately, you have all these tools you're learning and you set goals, right, with your coach, and then, we hold you accountable, right? So you're like, I'm going to work out 4 days this week, right? I'm going to really watch my sugar intake this week. I'm going to make sure I'm drinking more water, right? We hold you accountable to those goals, right? And oftentimes, guys, if you're not hitting those goals, typically there's a few reasons why, right? There's some roadblocks in the way. And our purpose is to really make sure that we minimize those roadblocks. So what can we do to, get rid of them? So it is easier for you to set your goals. And that is the whole purpose of accountability, is to make sure that you have the process in line, right? So it's not just us like cracking the whip on you, right? A good coach, at least, doesn't just crack the whip. A good coach looks at the big picture and it's like, okay, how can we make your lifestyle more sustainable and make sure that these goals actually get hit, right? And we also don't want you making goals that are unrealistic. So good accountability means that we're making sure your goals are good, right? That you can hit them and that they're going to put you in the right direction, right? And so oftentimes, guys, a lot of people, comment in the chat if you do much better with accountability. I myself do. I don't think anybody doesn't do better without accountability, right? So I think it's super important to have that. And usually it's these two things, right, that really make coaching like so valuable, right? And guys, like, there's all different kinds of coaching. Like I said, I've been coached in multiple topics, and now I'm a coach myself. And so it's really important to, realize that this is oftentimes the missing piece, okay? Also, too, if you've been on the weight loss journey for such a long time and you've tried all different things, when you are coached and you have someone kind of guiding you and looking at all the things you've done and not letting you go back that way. Because I'll even have clients come to me and they're like, oh my God, I've done keto, I've done calorie counting, and it doesn't work for me. And then they'll work with me and like they might be like, oh, like, and they find them eating more keto foods. It's like, wait a second, we know this did not work for you, so why are we doing this again? Right? Let's backtrack. Hey, Chloe, what's up, girl? So it's really important to not go backwards and always moving forward. Always forward, not backward. I say that a lot. Chloe's in my program right now. She's crushing it. And so she probably heard me say that before. So when you are coached, you have a way better chance of success because of all of these things here. You finally have clarity. You're focusing on the right things, right? So if you're so gung-ho on fitness, but you're not looking at food, we make sure you do both, right? And then if you're losing motivation, well, why is that happening? Right? So what's the why behind it? And then we, with that, we provide you the support, the accountability, so you have a way better chance of success. Okay, so that's the good. I could probably add a lot more good there, but I really wanted this to be more objective and balanced. And so I'm gonna get into the cons, right? The consequences of weight loss coaching. So first, actually, I'm gonna go over here. The first thing I want to talk about here is it too rigid? Now, this really depends on the program. It depends on your coach, right? So some people have a very specific style of coaching. They're a macro coach. So they say, okay, you're going to count your macros, right? Or they're a keto coach, or they're a intuitive eating coach, which actually is not rigid at all. That's like one of the best things. Intuitive eating is a big part of my program. But, macro counting, like for a lot of people, that's really rigid. So if someone comes to me and says, I want to count macros, I'm like, I'm not your girl. Like, there's other people out there that can help with that. I've done macro counting and I don't never want to go back to that lifestyle. Comment if that's you. Like, no, I don't want to count calories. I don't want to track macros. Not my jam. Comment if that's you. So again, like every coach is a different style, just like every personal trainer. I was a personal trainer for a long time. They all have different styles of training. Some trainers love animal flow. Some love body weight workouts. Some love TRX. Some love heavyweight training. Some love, just band work and lightweight. Some love dance. Like everyone has a different style. So you need to find someone, right, that really aligns with who you are. Right? They get you, they will let you do what you want. Like they don't force you to do one style of fitness. They don't force you to eat a certain way, right? So oftentimes like trainers, for example, coaches, they'll say, okay, you're going to follow this meal plan, right? Because they're trying to make it easy for you and take the guesswork out of it. But the problem with a rigid meal plan is that it doesn't set you up for success long term. So it's like, okay, well, what if I go out to dinner? What if I go on vacation? What if, there's a pandemic and the groceries are out, right? Or something happens, right? Or it's a stressful week and you didn't meal prep. Like, are you, out of luck, right? And if it's a rigid plan, you are, okay? Unless it teaches you the tools to not be so rigid, right? So if something is too rigid, actually one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite dietitians, Kate Scarletta, she is a famous IBS nutritionist. And she always said, if a diet is too restrictive, if it's too rigid, it's counterproductive, right? The best diets give you the most variety in your nutrition. Not only will that help you be a healthier person, but you will not feel deprived. You won't feel like, oh, I can't eat certain foods. I'm not allowed to eat this. I'm on a diet. How many times have you gone to a restaurant and you're like, I can't eat that. I'm not allowed? Comment in the chat if you've said that before. That's like the worst feeling. Number one, is it not feel good? But number two, isn't it embarrassing? Where like you tell people, oh, I'm not allowed to eat that. I'm on a diet. Ugh, guys, I used to say that. And like my goal, actually, this is my mission in life, never to say that again. That's what food freedom is. Hashtag food freedom. Chloe, you know all about that, right? So we don't want something too rigid. Also, quality of support. Okay, this is important. So earlier I was talking about, depending on the program you're in, is it one-on-one, is it a group, or is it both, right? So not all programs are created equal, right? Not all coaches are created equal. So you might have a one-on-one coach, but maybe they're really difficult to get a hold of. Or you email them and they email you back like short answers, or they email you back like every few days or once a week, or you're limited to a certain number of emails or whatever it is. Or maybe they're just like not listening to you. Like maybe you say something like, oh, you know what? Like I had a really tough week. I didn't get my workouts in, or I missed one of my workouts and like I snacked too much. And they're just like, well, what are you doing? Like, why did you not get your workouts in? Like, what happened? Like hashtag no excuses. Like comment in the chat if you've heard that before from a coach, right? That they're just not empathetic to your life. Like, do they ask you why that didn't happen? Right? Or like, what could we do next week or next time to ensure that that happens for you? Or maybe this goal is not realistic for you. What can we do to make you feel successful? How can we make you feel better? How can we get you more aligned with success? What's the next step? What are you willing to do? What can you do? How do you feel about that? The fact that you didn't hit your goal. Those are the questions that you need to be asked. And if you're not getting those questions asked to you, that's low quality of support. Okay, our coach's job is not just to dictate, eat this, do this, and then you're left on your own. That's not good coaching. Okay, good coaching gives you like real accountability, right? And accountability is not just cracking the whip, like I said. Authentic accountability is really understanding what you're going through, right? And then like giving you tough love when you need it, but also being like, very empathetic with you when you need the help as well. All right. Accountability. Okay, let's talk about this. So notice, yes, I have it here and here. So the bad thing about weight loss coaching is that if you commit to something, right, and you have a coach, this coach is just as invested in your success as you are, right? And so you have to really, show up, right? And you sign on, you commit to, really hitting your goals. It really depends on how the coach works, but you have to answer to someone in a way. Right? And like a lot of times, like you might feel guilty if you don't reach a goal or if you get off track or whatever. Comment in the chat if that's been you. You've worked with a dietitian or nutritionist or a coach or a trainer. Maybe you've done like group coaching, Weight Watchers, whatever, and you haven't shown up for a meeting or you haven't been logging your food and you feel guilty about that, shameful almost. Like those feelings aren't pleasurable at all, right? So sometimes the actual accountability, although it can be really helpful, sometimes like you don't want it. You're like, I had a shitty week. I don't want to talk to anyone. Okay. And I'll tell you what, guys, I've even had people in my own group that were like, Kristen, you know what? I had a really bad week. Can we just talk next week? And I'll be like, well, why do you think it was a bad week? Right? Because they'll tell me it's a bad week. And then I look at them or I listen to them and I'm like, that's not that bad. You know, like you overate at brunch. Okay. You had 2 glasses of wine. Yeah, and it's not bad. And guys, if someone tells you that's bad, that's a problem, right? So that accountability is not good either. You know, so yes, being accountable can be, you know, not always fun, right? But it is what we need to be successful, right? Sometimes we need a good little, you know, fire under our butt, right? But sometimes it's not what we want. And if you're not open to accountability, you know, if you're not coachable, then coaching's not for you. And that's something to think about, right? All right, results not guaranteed because you still must do the work. That's important. So oftentimes people sign up for weight loss coaching or any kind of coaching, doesn't really matter, business coaching, relationship coaching, I don't know, anything like that. And they assume, oh, I'm putting the money in, I'm committing to this program, I'm in, and like, you know, what's the success rate? The truth is, guys, once you commit to something, you have to put in the work, right? And I'm going to talk about that at the truth section, right? So results are not guaranteed. You know, just because other people in the program lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever it is, doesn't mean you're going to do it, right? I'm being brutally honest. A good coach is brutally honest. If someone asks me, Kristen, has every single person in your program, you know, lost all the weight they wanted, right? And I can say most of them have, but not everyone. And that completely depends on the person. You know, if you are struggling, right? And this is what a good coach does. If you're struggling, are you willing to ask for help? Will you ask for help? Or will you run and hide? Right? If you're the kind of person that's going to run and hide and not get help, right? That's where you're not going to get the results. They're not guaranteed. Because a coach is meant to help you. And if you run away from your coach, you're not going to get the results. But if you show up, Chloe, you're a great example of this. If you show up and do the work and you're committed, right? You will get the results. Every single client I've worked with, Chloe on the live is a great example. There are so many in this group right now. I know a lot of them are watching the replays probably. Danita, Sophie, Erin, Jen, Melissa, oh my God, Brenda. I can't even think of all your names right now, okay? You know, they all did everything I asked of them. And that's why they're at right now. Elise, another one. Oh my gosh, Mindy, girls, oh, love it, love it. So grateful for my CMW tribe. Abby, holy moly, Abby. How can I forget you, Abby? Sonia's another one. Look at the testimonies, right? Those women did everything I asked of them, right? And that's why they got the results. All right, last thing. May not be healthy, sustainable weight loss. This is really key, guys. So oftentimes weight loss coaching, right? There is a difference in some cases between health coaching and weight loss coaching. Okay, and that's why I do health and weight loss. I focus on both. But, you know, you can lose weight in an unhealthy way. If you get a coach and they're like, okay, you're going to drink 2 shakes a day and you're going to take all these supplements, and you're just like, wait, like, how is that healthy? That's not real food, right? Or you're eating these foods, like you're eating chicken and broccoli all the time. And it's like, well, I have like IBS-like symptoms, so broccoli doesn't serve me. And like, I want to be vegetarian. I don't want chicken, right? Like, that's not good for me. Or like, if you're eating like, if you're supposed to eat these foods that are weight loss friendly, but they're not healthy for you, your body doesn't agree with them, that's not good. That's a bad thing, because that's not setting you up for success long term. So it's important, guys, if you are considering weight loss coaching, to look at the process. Like, make sure that you're not going to be pigeonholed into a certain diet. Like, don't sign up with a keto coach if you are not going to eat meat. I hate to break it to you guys. I'm plant-based. And like, I dabble in meat here and there. I'll be very honest with you. But, you know, like, you want to make sure you're working with somebody that is going to allow you to eat the food you love, right? And that is healthy too. Health first, weight loss second, right? So you want to make sure you're doing it in a sustainable way. Also too, like, it's not super restricted, right? So something that you can do for the rest of your life. If you lose a bunch of weight in 12 weeks, for example, but like you hated the way you ate and it was so not sustainable for you, you were like meal prepping constantly, you didn't like the food you were eating, it just wasn't like sustainable for you, then what's the point? That's 12 weeks. Yeah, you lost weight, but then what else? You have the rest of your life. Okay, so you want something that is not only healthy for you, but also sustainable. And there are a lot of programs out there that don't look for the sustainability factor. They just want the results. They want people just to go online and say, oh my God, I lost 40 pounds in 3 months. But it's like, well, how did you lose the 40 pounds? Right? How did that happen? People don't think about the back end. Well, what's the process? Like, well, that sounds shitty. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to drink shakes twice a day. I rarely do shakes. Rarely. Okay. Bottom line, let's wrap this up for you guys. All right, the truth, and I was kind of mentioning this earlier. When it comes to weight loss coaching, you get, in anything in life, you get what you give. Right? So just because you sign up for something and you see all the testimonies doesn't mean that's going to be your story unless you give 100% of yourself. Okay, you are committed to the process. You're committed and coachable. Super important. Those are the 2 questions. Actually, when I do strategy sessions with people who are interested in create my weight, I was like, are you committed and coachable? If you are, great, I can help you. But if you're not, I can't help. Okay, and oftentimes, and people are very honest. They're like, well, yeah, I'm coachable, but like, I don't know, I kind of run away from commitment. Well, why? You want to ask yourself that question. What is it about the commitment piece that scares you? Okay, so again, results are not guaranteed. It's whatever you put in is what you'll get out, and you must be committed and coachable. What I mean by coachable is that you are open-minded. You are willing to learn, to try new things, and to think differently. Not only that, but you're open to feedback. You're open to constructive criticism, right? If someone says, you know what, I know you're doing it this way, but how do you feel about trying it this way? Being open to that. And again, a good coach will say, if you tell a coach, like, I don't really like that, they will work with you. They're not going to say, oh, it's my way or the highway, right? That's not good. That's not coaching. That's just like boot camp instructor, right? So you must be committed and coachable, though, by the end of the day. Also, guys, truth be told, you must be willing to invest your time, okay, your energy, and of course, a financial investment. Okay, good weight loss coaching is not free. Okay, if it's something you honestly like, you get what you pay for also in life, not just with weight loss coaching or health coaching, whatever, but anything in life, right? You get what you pay for, right? So but in order for it to be worth your money, this is the most important thing, guys. For it to be worth the money, I don't want anyone to waste their money on coaching. I'm gonna be brutally honest. You gotta commit your time and your energy because that's what weight loss success and health success requires. Okay, yes, you're gonna have to go to the grocery store or spend time ordering groceries. Yes, you're going to have to do some exercise. Yes, you're going to have to prepare meals. Now, can you maximize or minimize your time in doing those things? Absolutely. And that's what a good coach does, teaches you how to minimize your time for maximum results. But there's still this investment piece. Time, energy, money. Okay? Lastly, good coaching. And this is my biggest takeaway for today. You guys write this down. Good coaching will set you up for life. Right? So if you work with a coach for 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 6 months, some people do it for, right? It will set you up for the rest of your life. This is not like a means to an end. Oh my God, how much weight can I lose in 12 weeks? How much can I lose in 16 weeks? Whatever. Like they give you all the tools, right, that you need to be successful for the rest of your life. So that when you're done working together, you don't need them anymore. You're like, you know what? I got me. Right? And so that is what good weight loss coaching is, right? That you are set up for life. And oftentimes too, what you learn in coaching and weight loss coaching, you apply to other areas of your life, especially if your program or your coach teaches you mindset work, right? So oftentimes people come to Create My Weight and they're like, you know what, like I really struggle with motivation. You know, I'm not disciplined. I lack confidence, all of these things. Those are all mental, that's all mindset, right? So a good coach is going to teach you how to break those negative thoughts and change those thoughts in a way that makes you more productive and more successful. And you'll apply those strategies to other parts of your life, right? So Chloe here, she knew coming to Create My Weight, that was a big thing for her, was the mindset. You know, Chloe had always been into fitness. She knows a lot about nutrition, and, you know, she wants to lose 20 pounds, 15, 20 pounds. She's done that. But she knew the mindset was the biggest thing for her. Right? And now she's a teacher. Chloe, I'm sorry I'm calling on you, but you're here live, so I'm going to use you as an example. And I was a teacher too. A lot of you guys know that, hence my whiteboard trainings I love. But is a teacher, right? Tony here in the group, she's a teacher too. I've worked with a lot of teachers. Sonia here in the group. And, as teachers, we go through a lot of mindset struggles, right? Parents, you guys in the group, right? There's a lot of stress, a lot of inadequacy, like a lot of emotions we feel that kind of get us off track. Maybe we turn to emotional eating, or we're just snacking mindlessly, whatever. Or we just give up easily. We're like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I got too much to do. I don't have time to work out, blah, blah, blah. How to overcome that. We call that self-sabotage, right? So how to overcome self-sabotage. Comment in the chat here if you self-sabotage. I did it for a long time. A lot of people do it. Don't be embarrassed. Okay? A good coach will not make you feel embarrassed or make you feel like you're the black sheep. A good coach, okay, brings you in the herd and says, okay, we are going to overcome this. You are part of many, and the way we're going to get you to your success is different than everyone else. But you're not alone in your struggles, right? I got you, right? This might seem like the biggest obstacle in the world. You might not see that this is a lifestyle, that you can lose this weight and keep it off for good. You might not see it, but I'm going to walk you through it. And I'm going to make sure that when we're done working together, you don't need me anymore. You're set up for life, and give you the confidence to do that. So even if you don't have the confidence, right, you can borrow from your coach for the work you're doing together. But then once you're done working together, see ya. Ask Abby. She's a great example of that. There's a lot of women in the group right now that are a great example of that. Okay, Camille. How can I forget Camille? Tani, Michelle. Oh my gosh, all you guys. So again, guys, so coaching will set you up for life. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this. Okay, so go ahead and take a picture of the notes if you need to. Okay, so you have them saved on your phone or whatever. I know some people don't like watching the whole video, so go ahead and take a picture if you need to. I'll give you guys a second to do that. And again, guys, I want to remind you that if you are ready for coaching, you know that you have tried so many different things and you're just sick and tired of trying to figure it out on your own. You're like, I'm done. I want clarity. You want all these things, right? You want clarity. You want to focus on the right things, right? You want to make sure you're doing that, actually. You want support, right? Emotional support, group support, one-on-one support, whatever. You want to be held accountable, right? And you want a much, much better chance of success. You're willing to put in the work. I will tell everyone here, if you put in the work, right, and you do whatever your coach asks of you, you will be successor, whether it's me or anyone else. And guys, I'm not meant to work with everybody. I'm not doing this, good, bad, the truth about Kristen, or create my weight, whatever. This is the good, the bad, truth of weight loss coaching. There are tons of weight loss coaches out there, right? But I just wanted you guys, if you are considering coaching, to really take this into consideration before you take the next step. Okay? But if you are ready for this, you want all of this, and this is true, and you're ready for it, book a call with me. Okay, complimentary call, createmyweight.com/apply. Okay, and we'll get clarity on our first call. The first call is like the first coaching call, right? And my clients know this. I always bring in those notes from the first call, right? Actually, on our exit section from Create My Weight, where they tell me like their biggest struggles, I go back to the very first phone call. And I was like, hey, you know what? 12 weeks ago, you told me like these were your biggest struggles. Let's talk about them now. And guys, like literally all the time, like they're no longer struggles at all. They're like their strengths. It's amazing. That's what real transformation is, taking information and turning it to transformation. So if you're ready for transformation, you're done with researching. You're done with trying to figure out on your own. You're tired of self-sabotage. You're tired of doing the same diet and the same workouts and no results. You're tired of feeling let down. You're tired of not knowing what you need to be successful. Let me help you. Let me take the guesswork out of it and get you changing so that you can focus on other things in your life. Who wants to think about weight loss all the time? Comment in the chat if you think about weight loss more than once a day. I talk to people that say they do it all the time. No, you're better than that. It's time for you to live your life. And Create My Weight, we will set you up for life. So if you want to book a call with me, go ahead, createmyweight.com/apply. And what we're going to do is we're going to create your success together. Okay, we'll create your success story. And if you want to see some other success stories, just check out the group. Go to testimonies, search testimonies, you'll see plenty of them. And all those women, they created their success stories, and you can too, I promise you. Jen, she told me she'd be the black sheep. on our very first call. Look at her now. She actually is a chef for Create My Weight. She's amazing. All right, guys, much love. I gotta go. I actually work with other coaches. I teach them how to be coaches. So I'm gonna go do that now. But comment in the chat if you have questions, and I will definitely get back to them. Any other questions you have about weight loss coaching, Create My Weight, anything I talked about, comment below. All right, guys, much love. Bye.